Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving into the source material you provided, and, well, there's a question that really jumps right off the page. What is trade deficit?
hmm
So our mission, really, for this deep dive is just to explore what your sources say about this fundamental concept, and maybe why they put such a spotlight on it.
That's absolutely right. Your source material, it clearly flags defining trade deficit as like the essential starting point, for understanding everything else it gets into regarding global trade.
Yeah.
So we're going to stick closely to that specific explanation, the one presented right there in your sources.
Okay, so, yeah, it seems your sources don't really waste any time. They kind of cut right to the chase with the definition.
And do.
According to the material you shared, a trade deficit happens pretty simply when a country is, well, importing more stuff, goods, and services than it's exporting,
Over a certain time, right?
right, over a specific period.
It's framed there as basically a negative balance in the trade account. Exactly. And what's interesting, I think, is why your source emphasizes this basic definition so much. It's presented almost like the foundational piece because, well, the source explains that understanding this imbalance, it's necessary.
Necessary for what, exactly?
Necessary to grasp the flow of money and goods internationally, which, then impacts domestic industries.
Ah, okay. And currency values, employment, that kind of thing. Stuff the source touches on later.
Precisely. Those points it brings up later, it all seems to build on this initial definition.
It feels like the source is sort of setting the stage, saying, okay, before we get into effects or policies, let's just make sure we're all on the same page about what this core number actually means.
Yeah, let's agree on terms first.
For example, um, your source points out that while maybe a single monthly deficit number might bounce around a bit,
Fluctuates, yeah.
it's the sustained trend. That's what your source suggests is particularly relevant for its later analysis. Things like, I don't know, maybe specific sector impacts or national saving rates, perhaps?
Yes, that's a really key nuance from your source, that distinction between the sustained trend and just short-term blips.
Right.
It shows the material isn't just like giving a dictionary definition, it's explaining how to interpret the number within the specific context it's building.
Okay.
The source seems to argue that without really understanding the term and its context clearly, any discussion about, well, things like job losses in manufacturing, maybe, or investment flows.
Becomes kind of abstract
Yeah,
or maybe even misleading.
exactly. Abstract or misleading if you don't have that shared foundation based on their definition first.
Okay. This deep dive into your source material today, it's really highlighted how your source prioritizes defining what is trade deficit
Yeah.
as the bedrock.
Yeah, the foundation.
It doesn't just define it. It immediately links it to these broader implications and
Right.
measurement nuances, but always as seen through the lens of that specific source.
Precisely. And, engaging with any material is always just more effective when you start by fully grasping the foundational concepts the source itself highlights.
Especially when the source actually takes the time to define them and contextualize them for you.
Right, exactly. It's like they're giving you the key up front.
Absolutely. So, as you continue exploring the material you provided, here's maybe a thought for you to consider. Why might understanding your source's specific definition and context for trade deficit be more crucial for interpreting the rest of that material than maybe knowing other definitions that are out there?
Good call.
One thing to mull over.